This is how a bill becomes a law in the Senate. John wants to pass a bill about how young you have to be to drive a car in the state of Alaska. Then John sends his bill to his local senator to approve it. Senator Joe likes this proposition and gives it a number and a short title after a few revisions. John's bill is then sent to a committee where it is processed and revised to have the best chance on the floor. At the floor, all 100 senators debate this bill until they either agree or reject the bill to be revised. However, unlike the House, the Senate has unlimited time to talk about a legislative bill. This rule has led to an uncommon but not unused practice of filibustering. Filibustering is the practice of stalling in order to talk a bill to death. This can go on indefinitely and is a last-effort attempt to make the bill die out by forcing the opposing party to drop the bill. The longest filibuster was held by Senator Strom Thurmond, who talked for 24 hours and 18 minutes. Over the last century, 200 bills have been killed by a filibuster. To prevent such measures, the cloture bill was adopted in 1917, which limits a debate. It states that 2 days after a petition calling for that action has been submitted by at least 16 members. If 3/5 of the members, or 60 senators, vote the motion, then no more than 30 hours can be spent on the measure before it is sent for a final vote. Once it gets through this vigorous process in the Senate, it is then sent to the House. Sometimes each department agrees upon their own version of the bill, and it has to be sent to a conference committee for the purpose of hammering out differences in each version of the bill. Finally, after these differences are settled on, Congress approves it and sends it to the President. The President can accept it, veto it, or pocket veto it. If the President decides to veto, he is refusing to sign the bill, and the measure must then be returned to the House in which it originated. If he chooses a pocket veto, it is when Congress adjourns its session within 10 days of submitting a bill and the President does not act, so the measure dies. The President may allow the bill to become a law without signing it, by not acting on it within 10 days of receiving it. But in this case, the President decides to sign the bill and it becomes a law, so Sally is able to drive in the state of Alaska.